Hola, hola, buenos días. It is Monday. What is it, March 3rd? We're going to do a quick lunch shift here in Ann Arbor, Michigan from 11 to 2 p.m. And we're going to see what comes of it. I've been dashing the last week, but I didn't record. I was dashing in my home zone in Canton, Michigan, and it was pretty bad. Even the lunch shift where it's like busy. Sometimes I would not get any good offers. Sometimes I only got 3 good offers. So it's no longer a good zone. So we're out here today in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We're gonna try and learn how to dash in this zone. So it's gonna be a learning process from here. But I think from now until I move to California, whenever I have time to dash, I'll be right here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, home of the Wolverines. So I feel like during lunchtime, there's a lot of people that come from outside of the town, surrounding towns, to Ann Arbor to work. So there might be more orders here during the lunch shift rather than in my home zone where people go out to work in places like Ann Arbor. So we're going to try it today, and let's see how it goes. It's 10:48 right now. I believe I can start my dash already. Usually you can start your dash 15 minutes before your scheduled time. So let's get this day started. It's a typical Monday. I already started my app up, and it seems that the estimated wait time is 3 to 12 minutes of the average time that dashers get orders. So it's going to be a long 3 hours. Let's just say that. It's going to be a long 3 hours. All right, so as soon as 11 hit, we got our first order. Not too bad. Now I'm starting to think even if you start dash early, maybe they don't get to you until your scheduled dash time. I don't know, but we're doing an $8.21 for 3 miles. So, let's get going. I was already here at Panera, so not bad. All right, we are actually 8 minutes away, 2.9 miles, so let's go.
Destination is on the right.
All right, so we are delivering here at elementary school, and we just arrived. I'm supposed to leave it at the front office, so let's go. So I guess as we're waiting here, waiting for orders, I'll tell you guys about one of the main projects that my husband and I worked on in the house, because it needed to be done. Especially we're going to sell it prior to moving back to California. So back in 2019, we had a leak in the basement, in one of the basement walls. And we had to, and it's a finished basement, let me tell you that. Drywall, paint, all that. And so we had this leak. I noticed it because the carpet felt wet to me, and I instantly thought, oh no, my dog just peed in this area. I was blaming her, but she was a good girl. It was not her. We peeled the carpet back, and it was like part of you can see that part of the what's it called? The framing, like the wood, was from the back of the drywall at the bottom. You can see a little bit of mold already, and we're like, oh, this leak has been going on for a while. And so what we had to do was we had to contact a company to come and waterproof that wall of the basement. And in order to do that, we had to pretty much deconstruct the whole wall. Pretty much we had to tear it down. We removed the drywall, we removed the frame, and we removed the insulation that it had. It was a whole project. And after that, it sat like that because we're busy. I had work to do. My husband has work, and so it was a big project on its own because it was like a big wall. And so we had been, slacking on that. And now that we were selling the house, we started it back up. We have to get this going. There's an opportunity that back then, right, a few months ago, there was an opportunity that we might go back to California. Let's get this done in case it happens. And so my husband, everything is all YouTube, tutorials and, DIY. And so, the first step, we had to go get those pieces of wood. We started doing the frame. One thing about basements, sometimes, well, I don't know, our house is a little bit older. Apparently now there's a new code that actually basements have to be waterproofed, but ours is not. And so our basement, as we were trying to make it all the framing all, leveled and everything, we noticed that, basements aren't to that level. So we couldn't use so much of a leveler, so we had to go with, we had to buy a special tool that does like a laser, and so you can make it straight, but you can do a laser and it tells you where you're going to put your frames and everything. I don't know, my husband did all that. And so we went to Home Depot, we bought a bunch of wood, brought it back, we started doing the framing. And then the next step after that, after we got all the framing done, now we had to go back to Home Depot and we had to get the insulation. So we did that. We got insulation, we added it and everything. And this is, it was a progress about a month or two, I think it was. And then next thing, after the insulation, then we have to go get the drywall. So then we get the drywall, they're pretty long and heavy, and you have to go down the basement. So we did the drywall, measured it and everything, drilled it in. But then the next step after the drywall, because the drywall, there's seams, right, that you have to make nice and flush. So after that, it's a process called mudding. So you get this paste that you put on the seams and where you drill to make it nice and smooth. So then you put that paste. And then you wait for it to dry. And if there's anything that doesn't look smooth, you sanded it out. But you don't want to sand that much because there's a lot of dust that comes off of that and you don't want to inhale that. So we did have N95 masks for that. Once that is done, then the next step was to prime it. So we bought primer. And so we're priming everything. And then after that comes the paint. So we did painting. So we painted it the way the other walls were already the same color. So we're doing all that. So now the wall is done. And then next thing you know, it's the next part is doing the baseboard. So we put the baseboard, and then at least the baseboard was already, we bought it already primed white. So then I just had to do another, once it was all installed, we had to do another coat of just white paint. But again, those seams, like in the corners, those were a pain in the butt. But now all of our basement is done. We folded back because remember the carpet was a little bit wet, so we pulled that back so they can do they had to do, in order to waterproof the basement, they put this coating on the wall. And then they drill like a drainage that goes to the sump pump. So all the water that collects, it's up in the sump pump. So all of our carpet is peeled back so they could have access. So after we did the wall, the baseboards and everything, we had to go put back the carpet and then try to, sneak it back in underneath the baseboard. So that was a whole ordeal too. It wasn't as bad as we thought. I thought, because sometimes they say, oh, you have to make sure that the carpet is stretched and everything, but it wasn't too bad. And then after that, I vacuumed it, deep vacuum, and then came the washing of the carpet, so I washed that. But overall, I think I'm from someone, my husband and I have never done a wall before. So I think it came out pretty well, but you guys I'll put the picture as, everything that, how the whole process went. I think we took pictures. And you guys let me know how that looks. But I think for first timers, I think we did pretty well. So I was impressed. Alright, so food was ready. Once again, Panera, I was surprised too, because usually I wait it was on the shelf. This one was on the shelf too, ready to go. I put in the address in the GPS. We are 7 minutes, 2.4 miles away, so let's get going. Alright, so that order was dropped off. I believe it was like a $4.71 tip. Alright, so we picked up 2 orders for Panera, and I think it was 8.5 something for 4.4 miles. So we got that one, and we are about to drop off our first order, and we're going to be going to the mall.
Take the next right onto West Eisenhower Parkway.
We are 4 minutes, 1.2 miles. The direction says it's going to be handed to me, and the person says park by Forever 21, and then go in and then call the person to get more specific directions. So we'll see how that goes. Mall drops are a pain. Let's just say that. And I guess pickups too. Alright, Forever 21 is right here to our right. So the person said to park here and then go inside. So let's try to find her. Alright, so first order is dropped off. Unfortunately, it was like towards the middle of the mall. So that was a lot of walking in. But we got it done, so now we're on to the next one. We are 8 minutes, 2.8 miles away, so let's go. I think we have arrived. It's like Ann Arbor Academy main entrance, so I think it's here. Alright. Let's drop this off. I have to leave it at the front desk. I guess kids are ordering DoorDash nowadays. That was a $1 tip and a $3.50 tip. Who tipped what? You guys decide. Alright, so our next order is from Culver's. We are already here. I almost passed it when DoorDash decided to give me this offer. And here's why I took it. So far we've been doing $2 per mile, little short trips, but you know, with short trips you lose a lot of time too. But this one is guaranteed $23.75 for 11 miles. $2 per mile. So let's go get this one. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. So we are back in the car. We got the order. It was already done. We are 15 minutes, 11 miles. So let's get going to cash in these $23. Alright, we are arriving. Alright, so the Culver's order was dropped off and it was $20 tip. That guy really wanted his burger, but I'm very thankful for that. That puts us in about 2 hours, 40, what did I say? I think I saw 47, something like that. So, I'm not complaining. I am not complaining. Alright, our next pickup spot is here at Sweet Green. We're going to be going, what was the offer? Let me find it for you guys. $8 for 3.8 miles, so good enough for me. So let's go. Alright, so we're going to be dropping off. Let's see, it's going to be handed to me. We are 11 minutes, 3.7 miles.
Head north toward Washtenaw Avenue.
Let's go. Alright, we have arrived at the customer's workplace. We are heading into a Chase Bank, so let's go. Alright, so it is 1:35. We have 20 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go until we finish our dash. I had to use the restroom, so I went to Panera, and as I was in there, I got an order, so let's go do this one. It was, let me check for you guys, 1.9 miles for $6.87, so no brainer. Let's go.
Your destination is on the right.
But I believe it's towards the front, so I have to make my way towards the front. There was no, it was like a busy street, so there's no street parking. But it seems like I have to go through the front, so I'll probably go around the building, something like that. We'll see. Alright, so I tried the back doors, and they were all locked, and then I went to the front. And it's actually a police, like a security guard up in the front. I had to leave the order. At his desk. So that was a $3 with 87-cent tip. And it is, my hands are cold. It is windy, not as bad as I think it was last week on Friday. But it is windy and my hands are frozen. Alright, so our dash has concluded for the day. Remember, we only did a little 3-hour shift in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So here are the numbers, right? So we did a total of 3.25 total dash hours. But of those 3.25, we were only active for 2 hours. We drove, or I guess I drove, a total of 75.7 miles. And in that short 3-hour dash in Ann Arbor, Michigan, I made $62 with 83 cents. So in terms of total dash hour, that was a $19 with 33 cents per hour. That's not bad considering that it's a Monday. When you take into consideration the active time, that was $31 with 42 cents. And I did about 83 cents per mile. It would only take me $4.21 to charge my car. So because I drove 75.7 miles, my tax write-off is going to be $52 with 99 cents. So that brings my taxable income to $9 with 84 cents. So I only owe the government $1.92. But remember, this does not include the federal tax. So this is just a rough estimate. So what do I get in total? That's $56 with 70 cents. So not too bad for a little 3-hour shift. I'm not complaining. It was fun. So we're going to try to, as I mentioned in the morning, we're going to try to work Ann Arbor and see how it goes. So in the meantime, I'll let you guys go, and I'll see you next time. Adios.